Hello, this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Pixel Cup Soccer Ultimate Edition. The game is available on PC and all major consoles. Pixel Cup Soccer Ultimate Edition is a football game with a retro arcade style. The game was developed by Petruality Games. The game can be played solo or in local or online multiplayer. So what's it like to play? Well, where do I begin? It's a bit like a game of two halves. You have standard game modes and you have career play mode. First, let's look at standard. It has everything you'd expect. You can pass, you can shoot, swerve the ball, although I don't think it worked particularly well. Some players have special skills like power shots, speed boosts and many other things. You can use slide tackles, but you can't sprint. Each player instead has this energy meter. They go full pelt until the energy meter reaches 0, then they pretty much just fall over. So all sounds pretty standard stuff, right? Well, you know, the biggest issue I would say with general play is it doesn't have the actual feel of a football game at all. Yes, you can do all the things that I just mentioned, but it feels like a completely different sport. Almost like those 28-a-side games you had at middle school where, you know, it was more like lemmings chasing a ball than football. One problem is the lack of first time passing, or at least I didn't experience it. Maybe you can unlock it for specific players, but that would be a bit pointless. Also, I just say the basic flow is quite sluggish and quite tired and unresponsive as well. And it's that lack of responsiveness to the button presses. It just makes you feel hard done by many times, like when you press tackle, but the delay ends up with you collecting the ball at your foot and then booting it out of play because the shoot and the tackle button are the same. Tackling can be a real nightmare too, you know, and some of the players just seem unable to tackle. It's like you're playing a team of ghosts. Another issue is, at times, it felt like you're playing an ice hockey game. By that I mean, the turning circle of the players is like trying to turn the Titanic. It was like an old NHL game, and it's another part of that really slow feeling that just sucks the life out of the game, and it really doesn't help the game be fun. Okay, so that's kind of general play. It has a few moments, but generally it's quite poor. Now, despite all those issues, if you persist, you do score nice goals. You could do a bit of passing that's fun. You know, it does have a feel of a fun game at times. And in terms of the modes, you've got the friendlies, the online games, leagues, tournaments, and these are the best ways to play it. But then you've got the other mode, career mode. Right, let me have a moment. Now, I love a good career mode, I do. And at first I thought this was amazing. Mainly, it's got an incredible edit mode. You can make your team, you can design the badge, you can make home and away kits for your players and the goalkeeper. You can decide what clothes and look your manager has. You can pick your formation. You can customize every player's visual style and their name. You can even allocate special stars as they experience games and get XP. It is glorious. Sadly though, that is where the glorious nature ends. The big problem is the distinct lack of quality in your team. Now, even when played with proper teams like Brazil, this game's got a lot of issues. Now, imagine those issues magnified by the fact that your team is basically 22 sacks of shit running around for hours, driving you insane. The grind, honestly, it's real. And it took me 2 or 3 days before my team felt even remotely playable or something that I could even enjoy a smidgen. Add to that the overzealous amount of admin that you've got to do, from checking your XP gains every game, adding skills, changing the lineup when someone's tired, listening to the team owner waffle on about some really unfunny comedy sort of interlude. Oh, that was funny. No.
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Anyway, you know what? It reminded me in many ways of a survival game. You grind for days so that you can do the very basic things that other games allow you to do straight away. but with all the issues that exist in the actual core gameplay, making you play this for days with a terrible team, it's enough. After 2 days, I was ready to murder someone. So career mode, yeah, it's something only a very few people will enjoy, I'd say. But again, the edit mode is wonderful, and it does, it's another sad moment when you've got a game that's got such a wonderful edit mode, but the actual gameplay does not live up to it, not even slightly. I'd also say the special skills, they're cool, but again, it's very hard to remember on the fly who can do what, especially when you're dealing with the game trolling you constantly. One other feature I liked was the ability to customize the game. Fouls, offsides can be turned off. You can get rid of slow motion effects every time the ball's in the air. I mean, what is that about? You can tweak speed, you can choose manual or assisted shooting and passing. So in that respect, tailoring it's good. Visually, the game looks like something out of the sort of Super Nintendo era. Pixel art, I like it. I like the presentation, I like the menus. I think it's very well put together visually. Sound is hit and miss. Crowd is okay. Music is decent, but it will drive you nuts after a while in the career mode. The gibberish voices in career mode of your owners. Why? I can't stand these gibberish voices. They're so irritating, unnecessary. Anyway, verdict, Pixel Cup Soccer Ultimate Edition is a football game with enormous potential due to its cool presentation, excellent custom options, and sensational edit mode. Sadly, despite all these good points, they are all weighed down by the lackluster and quite infuriating gameplay issues that will leave you ready to murder your flatmate. Yes, it grows on you over time, like a fungus does, but it's not really the enjoyable football game that it presents itself as. It's more like a war of attrition, where if you can endure the absolute nonsense of the gameplay, you might suddenly find yourself having a good time. It is bewildering to sum up, honestly. Like, trying to sum this game up and all the parts fairly is a very difficult thing, but yeah, it's got some good points, but ultimately structure is great, but pure gameplay is quite terrible, and I can't really say much more than that. But yeah, maybe you'll enjoy it if you're an absolute die-hard football fan and you just are very lenient, but I doubt it. Anyway, scoring Pixel Cup Soccer Ultimate Edition 6 out of 10. That's the review. Thank you for watching. This is PG signing off. Cheers.